Call to order the meeting of the Pflugerville Parks and Rec Commission, August 21st at, I believe, 7:01? Is that right?
7:01.
7:01. Okay, the commission welcomes comment on parks and recreation items. Public comment that is made on an item is not on the published agenda, will only be heard by the commission. No form, action, discussion, or comment will be made. Each person providing public comment will be limited to 3 minutes and be asked to state his or her name and address for the public record. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Do we have?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, we'll move on. Okay, we're going to move on to item 3A, the approval of the minutes. Did you guys have a chance to read the minutes, to look at them? Give you a minute. They're on your desk.
It's a long time ago, from May. We haven't had a meeting in a week.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Are there any comments, corrections? Do we have a motion to approve these minutes? Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're going to move to item 4A, discussion regarding directors. Well, you said something about somebody going before that
Yeah, we'll
point. Is
move
that right?
up to 5A.
Yeah, we'll move up to 5A. 5A, discuss and consider action to approve the commissioning of Daydreams in Bloom, a second phase of a mural installation series along Gilliland Creek West Trail at Grand Avenue Parkway.
Good evening. We're excited to be back again with another mural project for your review and consideration tonight. The mural concept is titled Dreams in Bloom. It is designed by Ernesto Hernandez and Cindy Tobar, and Cindy Tobar is here this evening. So before we kind of kick it off, I just want to kind of show you the general location of the site. And as you may recall, Flight of the Pollinator planes was recently, within the past year, installed at the Grand Avenue location. And so this mural would be immediately north of the Flight of the Pollinator planes. Also, some other location and miscellaneous details. Last year, we prepped the entire wall. Just thought it was kind of easier just to kind of take care of it all at once. Kind of give it a clean canvas, and so we prepped it last year. And so this particular project would be phase 2 along this embankment wall. The embankment wall in this area with phase 2, the dimensions, the height varies a little bit just because of the slope, but it's approximately 11 feet in height and 50 feet in length. And with this particular project, we also intend to use mural shield, UV coating, and anti-graffiti coating, the sacrificial kind. So it's what we've been using on all of our mural projects in areas that may be at greater risk for graffiti.
Compared to this mural, what's the dimensions of the one previously?
So this one is half the size.
Okay.
The other one is 100 feet in length. And then with this particular project, and we're still kind of putting together the details, but there is an opportunity for us to include a community paint day as part of initiating the mural with this project, and we do have a tentative date of November 8th for that community paint event.
Even bad painters.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Despite when
We'll see
my
about
eye
that.
starts twitching.
That is on a Saturday or what
It
day
is
of the
on
week?
a Saturday, and then we have a backup day just in case if it rains out or something like that. But in terms of the actual community paint day, it would be a less detailed version of what we would be painting that day. There would be simple layers that we would be working on.
I will have to check the UT football schedule.
So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and hand this over to Cindy Tobar to kind of discuss their vision for this design concept.
Hi everyone, my name is Cindy Tobar. My husband wasn't able to be here, but you guys will meet him very soon. His name is Ernesto. Just a description of this mural, the Daydreams in Bloom, is a visual poem of color and light, where a child's quiet gaze meets the hum of a hummingbird, the unfolding of petals, and the warmth of a rising sun. It's a reminder that imagination is a living garden, and every moment holds the possibility to bloom. Just like I mentioned, every person is an artist in their own way. Me and my husband have been painting murals together for almost 4 years, but all together, I don't know, 40 years together. I mean, you know. And we love involving the community. We've done several murals where the community comes, and it's amazing how we have children and elders, you know, and their inner child comes out, and it's very beautiful. And I'll share more of our murals where you guys could locate them. So yeah, this is going to be our mural that we are going to be painting soon.
So I got a question on that,
Sure.
on that November 8th day, is that, are
November.
are the people gonna be painting this mural or prepping it before, or
Yeah,
getting it
so
ready?
so we'll have the community would basically paint, let's say like the mandala, they could paint like the pink, like the solid colors, like the first layers, because it's going to be several layerings, you know,
Okay.
that we'll be adding. So we'll have them do like solid colors.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and do like more of the detail, the shading, and all the other.
Yeah, we plan to
Small things.
have another exhibit at the actual community paint day showing what they would actually be working on and what the final product would look like.
Would you want some space at Deutschen Pfest to advertise the community paint day?
Yeah, I can do that.
Bet we could set that up,
Yeah.
just like on a Saturday or something, just to recruit some people to be there.
Yeah. And I think that based off of Flutterfest, we had that in March. We had a huge turnout. So it was a kind of a celebration day of pollinators as well as an artist talk for that. That was in March, I believe it was. And what we did is that we had actual separate activities going on at that event. So it kind of helps provide some filler because we won't be able to have everyone paint all at once. We plan to have like a sign-up sheet, first come, first serve, but then also have some kind of like arts and crafts, stuff like that. We're still working out the activity component, but yeah, it's going to be modeled a lot after Flutterfest.
My husband and I also do printmaking. We did that at the San Marcos powwow, and we work with the indigenous community, the Cahuatecan tribe. They're indigenous to San Marcos, and we dye fabrics, natural dyes, and we do prints, and children could do that. We did one, I think, August 1st in Dallas, where at a library, and we had all the children do a lot of prints, and they loved it, so we could add that too, as well too.
Sounds awesome.
That'd be cool.
Logistics, where, I know this is further from that
Yeah.
Windermere Park, is that about the place where people are gonna park, or is it Timmerman, is it not Timmerman, but Windermere parking for people to come show up and help?
Yes.
When we discussed the flight of pollinators, somebody who lives over there pointed out you can park along Black Locust.
When I go visit the site, I do park along Black Locust, but we'll likely promote it as people parking at Windermere. We're still workshopping the
Sure,
title, but if you would like to have a tentative title, it's called Paint and Stroll.
I like
Kind
it.
of,
It's gonna be a hike.
we did have a shuttle last time at Flutterfest in case people just didn't want to make the trek, but we're trying to involve the community and get them out there.
Sure.
Do you like the working title?
Well, yeah, it sounds great. I mean,
Yeah.
you ready?
Still workshopping it, but yeah, I think it might work. Alrighty.
So this is a discuss and consider.
Yeah,
so
is there
we'll-
any comments? Is there anybody else have anything to bring up, to share?
I love the idea of the community, involving the community. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I think people are gonna love that. I'm super excited for it.
Yes. Yes.
I was gonna just
Yeah.
ask if there was a continuation of the theme of the original mural, and obviously there is. So I'm really glad to see that too. It looks really good.
How do we delineate between the two? Do they just come right down next to each other?
Yeah, we kind of have a division around the flower, and here, instead of a straight line.
That is the, that is.
And on this side,
I see. Oh,
instead of a straight line, the mandel will kind of come out. So that way the next mural will kind of blend in, but you could separate the murals. Mhm.
Any other comments? Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll set a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That's great. That looks
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
That'll
you.
be
We're excited
awesome.
about it.
You know, I
Yeah.
really enjoy painting, especially I love seeing young girls, because there's not a lot of female muralists, and you know, I'm indigenous woman, so when my husband was painting himself, there were girls that might not approach him, but once we started painting together, we have, you know, the young girls and younger children kind of approach us, so it's kind of neat to, you know,
Yeah,
kind of let them know that they can also be artists.
I love that.
Great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go to we wanna move down to 5B, or go back up to?
Yeah, we'll
4?
go to 4. We'll
Okay.
go back to 4.
Okay, discuss.
Already hit all the buttons.
All right. Item 4, discussion regarding director's update, including information about project status, updates, upcoming special events and staffing.
Okay, so it's kind of turned into a summer review. We haven't seen you in a while. This is a lot of our staff and our chair, Ray, at a council meeting in July, receiving a proclamation as July being Parks and Rec Month, which was great. Thanks for attending. As far as summer fun camp itself, Jonathan's got a couple comments here on the next couple slides.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me back and letting me speak again after the fee schedule we did last time. It's okay, we took 2 months off. So I'm Jonathan, I'm the rec superintendent. Just wanted to kind of cover, so summertime is obviously for a Parks and Rec department, it's kind of like our Super Bowl months. It's when we do most of our programming work. And so with Summer Fun Camp this year was a really successful year. We had 9 weeks of camp and 1 training week before that. That's 28 camp staff who provided 439,320 hours of childcare during the summer for over 1,046 campers. We were at 93% capacity of our camp spots, so we were almost sold out. We actually were sold out up until there's always a few that drop in and out. And then we took 45 field trips covering over 1,600 miles. So the kids here in Pflugerville got to experience a lot of different places across our state. It's also a busy time for aquatics during the summer. So we had 133 aquatic staff. Aquatics here in the city of Pflugerville does a really good job recruiting, and we have a really high returner rate, which is great for us. It makes recruiting a lot easier. So we had an 81% returner rate this year. We actually promoted 6 managers, so we had 6 new managers. They were all previously our staff members. So we're growing those leaders in-house, which is really cool.
That return rate's huge too, because not only are there other options like Kalahari and Rock and River and Typhoon, Texas, but most of those places pay a little more. So to have a lot of those folks willing to take a little less to stay local and work a spot they've done previously is great for us.
And these are people who are going from high school to college or
Yeah.
college to elsewhere, so they're gonna not come back eventually. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I heard the city actually pays better than Typhon, Texas this past weekend.
Oh,
Oh, good.
there we go.
Good. Well, the rumor's getting out.
Yeah, keep spreading it.
They've been telling me. None of it's true, but it's good to.
Probably one of the most important things that we offer as a department is learn to swim classes, teaching a life skill. And we were able to offer over 2,000 opportunities for that this year, which is pretty incredible. That's up about 200 from what we offered last year. We hosted 7 swim meets at our pool, at our Gillen Creek pool, and then we provide 106 rentals across our 3 different pools, Windermere, Scott Mincer, and Gillen Creek. And then we hosted 4 floating movie nights with 259 attendees. Programs and events. It's also a really busy time for programs and events. We had our June Music in the Park, which had about 300 people. Our Juneteenth Rock the Block. It's probably one of the biggest Juneteenth turnouts that we've had so far. That was 500 people. That was in downtown. July Rock the Block was 400. That was a really unique band. They were an emo band called Emotion Avenue. And we saw a lot of people who are not the same people who showed up for the August one. It was a whole new crowd, which was really cool. And then we had another 500 people at the August Rock the Block.
We got to learn about a lot of people too.
Yeah,
A lot of former emos showed up.
Yeah.
To do that.
including some city staff.
Yeah,
that we
they
wouldn't
outed
know.
themselves. Yeah, they really did.
It's also a very busy time for volunteers. So we had 67 adults and 37 youth volunteers. That ranges from different community groups to businesses and also to a court-ordered community service. We are an outlet for them to get their community service hours. In total, they volunteered 381.5 hours over those 3 months. So it's over 100 hours per month. They collected 271 bags of trash, totaling almost 5,500 pounds, which is pretty incredible. One, that was out in the park system, but 2, that they were able to pick it up and clean it up. So one of the weirdest things that was found, someone using one of those kayaks that we won a grant for, found 5 inflatables at Lake Pflugerville and was able to pull those out. So,
You'll never know what you'll find on a
yeah.
Like a box of chocolates.
That's right.
We found a muffler.
A muffler?
Yeah.
The one that you were at that we went to. We
Is that Park
found
Foundation cleanup?
a muffler over the trail leading up to where the mural is that they're doing. It was a full-blown muffler.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, how did they even
Not a
make
shocker.
it?
After a flood, we found a doghouse in a tree one time. So, yeah, you never know what you might find.
We've had some public art installs over the summer as well. One in the Best Little Plaza was the Trail Capital in Bloom, which you see here. It's the big Rotary donated kind of like a tourism chair. You know, one of those big chairs you can take a selfie in. And then we had Daydreamer and One Way or Another at Lake Pflugerville. And we had Smitten and Roxy, which I think there's some stickers floating around of Smitten and Roxy, and Sweethearts, all 3 done at Wilbarger Creek. So that is that Daydreamer, or is that
That's Daydreamer.
Daydreamer being installed by a big crane, and then Sweethearts on the right is at, and the left's always at the lake, and then the right is at Wilbarger Creek, where the new dog park area is along the trail. And I don't know if that's Smitten or Roxy. That's Smitten.
That was Roxy. Or no, this was Roxy. Right?
Yeah, that's Roxy. Yep. And then another one of the installs at Lake Pflugerville. So we've had a lot of new art go in as well. Trail Capital Texas update. It's official. Governor signed it on May 24th. We were excited to hear that. We had some wayfinding design that this committee approved a couple years ago through the bond program, and you can see an example of that signage. We've been working with the communications department and our GIS team on the locations. And then 1619, who's done wayfinding implementation for a lot of Central Texas cities, is going to be the group that we're working with to roll out where we implement all these different signs. So that's all kicking off, and you can see even 3 or 4 years ago when the bond started, we had Trail Capital of Texas signified on the signage here. So I guess we were just, we were pretty sure we were gonna get it eventually. And the way we kick it off, like we do, is we did shirts. We did a NASA themed shirt that says, our trails are out of this world. And the comments, got a goat on it. We did a Trail Boss shirt, with the topo design. And then, you know, to lean back into our unofficial mascot, the goat, we did the Truck Apple, Texas, Pflugerville with a goat silhouette, and there is a lake and a water tower and a trail all convening at sunset. And we have those at the thing, and tonight afterwards, we'll let everyone grab one on their way out. So you can pick your poison of what's left. They've been fairly popular. If you don't find any you're looking for tonight, we're getting some reorders back in. Okay, we'll let Aaron have one too.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Hey, seeing that you brought the goat, when are the goats coming back to the creek? Or is
What
that coming
a
up?
great segue. They are coming back quickly. They'll be back next week or the week of August 26th. They'll be here for 7 to 8 weeks. One group's going to be going from the Bowles area up Swimpson Farm through the Gillen Creek corridor. Then they'll also be going along Wilbarre Creek, both north and south, that fully redesigned park. And then we're also going up to Murchison Mallard, which we're finalizing through the bond, and that needs some goat attention as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello again. Just going to cover some quick recreation center programming. Our recreation center has been pushing really hard to get some new programs. And so I've listed all of our traditional programs here, but I wanted to highlight too that we now have a power yoga on Saturdays. There's a basketball instructor that we've been working with, and he is doing a skills training, but he's also going to run a 4v4 league as a part of that skills training for us. And then we have a new baton twirling. You read that right, baton twirling. Come check it out. That one's going to be super interesting. And then we have a new youth volleyball training program that's going on as well. So there's a lot of new programs happening at the rec center.
Hey, on the basketball skills training, is that for youth or adults or both?
It's for youth, yes. Yes. Huh?
Is there an age limit on baton twirling?
Oh, let's go. There's a size limit.
Yeah.
You can't throw it somewhere.
There is an age limit. It is youth-based, but yeah. But I mean, we'll see. So if it's popular, we might add an adult one.
There you go.
Is free yoga at Pfluger Parks on Saturday? Is it affiliated with the Parks Department, or is that?
Yes, yeah, that's actually one of our yoga instructors who does our vinyasa flow yoga.
Okay.
Her name is Lou. She does our yoga in the park on the first Saturday of the month.
It's super popular,
Oh,
as
yeah.
you can see.
My wife requested an additional Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
We actually had to move yoga in the park underneath some pavilions and stuff this summer. So they did it once in the Green Red Barn, once under the Gillen Creek Pavilion, just because it's so hot outside. So we were able to get them a little bit of shade this year by moving them around.
So it's a popular program. We could look into a second one. We could ask Lou if she has the time for it, yeah.
We
The
also
whole
have...
point of vinyasa yoga is supposed to be hot. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just make it outdoor hot yoga. So
We won't do it in this room.
yeah. Cold yoga. Also for the recreation programs, we have a lot of programs coming up. Once again, as a reminder, the seniors program, those are trips that are designed to get seniors out of the house while not requiring them to drive. So they still get to experience the world. They have that independence, that freedom, but they don't have to worry about driving there. So the trips this month total over 1,600 miles saved for the seniors, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, is it gonna come up?
It should. It did in the office.
Look at that. So, if I was a better director, I'd know the date. I don't know when we're actually doing it. I was so excited to show you the video, I didn't put the date up there, but we're doing the cardboard regatta again this year. I think it's our fourth or fifth
It's the fifth.
annual. Some cities in the area are starting to steal from us. Who was that we saw the other day? Was that Shirts?
Shirts.
Yeah. But it's a fun time. It's adults and kids. I don't think the weight helps, Stan. You go right in.
When your father-son activity entails 450 pounds.
Him saluting as he went down was the best part. But it's a lot of fun. And there's cardboard trophies, and the kids get to play and have a little fun. It's the last aquatic event of the year until we get all the way to the freeze flop. Yep. So
September 20th.
September 20th.
There's a pharmaceutical commercial on TV where they're supposedly doing cardboard regatta. It's bullshit.
That's not what it is.
Everybody's dry.
We'll send it to them. Yeah. Very few people get across that 25 meters without getting a little bit wet, but it's great. So if you haven't been, even if you don't want to participate, attending is well worth it. You will not have. You'll be hard pressed to find a more fun couple hours than watching.
September 25th?
September 20th.
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 What time? Yeah, just sometime. Just show up and see if it's still going on. No, we'll get you the date.
We'll get you the time.
Awesome. We'll have some projects for you for next month. And last is Allison. Allison is our new special event. She replaces Gabby. And do we have things on her?
No.
She's going to do it
She has to
herself.
tell 'em,
Oh,
yeah.
boy. Well, welcome, Allison.
Thanks, yeah, super excited. I'm the new special events coordinator. I came from a couple nonprofits such as Boys and Girls Club of the Austin area and the YMCA of Central Texas. So I'm super excited to join the team. Everybody's been super supportive, welcoming. We're getting ready for our big event in October, which you'll see in just a few more slides. So we're super excited to kind of go over that with you all. But super excited to meet you all after this and get to know you all and everything. So yeah.
Awesome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Good to have you. Okay.
Item 4B, discussion regarding the Deutschen Pfest 2025 update.
As Allison queued us up, we've got Deutschen Pfest update to talk about. So it's Friday 5 to 11, Saturday 10 to 10. No, sorry, 10 to 11. And we've got a fun run as well that we'll talk about. Doing something a little different this year with that. I've got a whole team here you can ask questions of, by the way, if you have any. The beer garden was super popular last year for those that attended. We're going to be doing that beer garden again. We're going to be changing the shape of it a little bit to try to get some city booths in the beer garden, so we'll have some more prime real estate outside potentially for some other vendors. And we're changing the name of something, so it's no longer Kid Zone, it's
Vunder Park.
Vunder Park.
Sounds wonderful.
Vunda.
On it, right?
We're not saying it right?
Bunda.
Vunda. Well, I'm not gonna get that right. We'll have carnival rides, petting zoo, face painters, balloon artist, hair braider, touch truck, DJ. It will be in this section over here like it was last year. Y'all want to talk about the rides a little bit?
Yeah, so if you remember 2 meetings ago, I believe,
It was like 2020.
Yeah. Y'all approved the rides. We then took that contract to council. And so good news is you don't have to approve it again for another 3 years, which is great. But we took y'all's recommendations on the rides, sent those to the vendor, and so this is the layout. One thing not pictured, but you'll see in the next slide, is the Ferris wheel. That's because we are going to move, and I think we talked about this last time, but we're going to move that Ferris wheel into the music area. It creates, a really great opportunity to kind of see over the entire event. But also that's going to be kind of geared towards our teens. Don't tell them or they won't show up. But that's going to be kind of our teen area there. So we're going to try and make that a part of the music spot.
And there's the Ferris wheel spot.
Yes. And then the concert grounds, as well as the vendor booths. You can see the blue ones that Shane was talking about. Those are the city booths. They will be moving inside the beer garden this year. to help with that outreach. That's also where the contest happens, so it makes it easier for us as a staff to have all that prepped, stored in our tent, and then when it's time for pretzel eating or stein holding, we just bring it right out in front of us and do it at the tent.
So we're about halfway to our goal of vendors needed. We obviously want enough that we can select from some and not potentially take everyone that applies, but yeah, we're already getting close to halfway there with what we're gonna need to fill out that space. You wanna talk about vendors a
Yeah.
little bit?
So we have kind of a wide range. If you remember, we're looking specifically to recruit vendors who are Texas or German or Texas German. We're pressing into the Guten Tag, y'all. So this is actually where we need y'all's help. If you know of a really cool vendor, reach out to them, but also send us their contact information. We would love to contact them and see what we can do to get them to Deutschen Pfest. Right now we have woodworking, jewelry, candles, pet accessories. We are providing something new this year. We're trying to take better care of our vendors, so we're going to be providing a marketing toolkit to the vendors so that they can help promote both Deutschen Pfest, but also their attendance there. So hopefully that helps up their sales as well. We hear from a lot of vendors that this is kind of their once a year thing that allows them to continue their business. So they make a lot of sales at Deutschen Pfest. We're also doing outreach via social media to invite people to participate. The event software we use is also sending out emails for us. And we're posting flyers at Rock the Block for vendors. So once again, if you know someone, you're like, hey, my aunt makes this really cool Texas thing, send us her contact information, and we will contact her.
Food.
So the food zone, we have spaces for 9 vendors. Don't tell anyone, but we actually have more space than that. So same here, if you know a great food vendor, please tell us about them. We recently got a contact for the Schnitzel Wagon, and we were able to work with the Schnitzel Wagon and convince them to come to Deutschen Pfest for the first time. So there will be Schnitzel this year, which I know has been requested. So truly, if you know someone who you think would be a good fit at Deutschen Pfest, we will actively try and recruit those people that you send to us. Right now we have 5 vendors, so once again we're about halfway there. But as Shane said, we don't want to just kind of accept anyone who applies. We want those Texas German kind of crossover food vendors. So this is your doctor's note to go eat out and find us a good place to recruit. Vunda Park will also have 2 vendors.
Is it getting worse? He's
Yeah,
getting worse.
I've tried, Stan.
You're not my student.
There's 2 vendor spaces there as well in that spot for kids and family. So it'll be things like funnel cakes, corn dogs, those kind of things.
Schnitzel Wagon was my nickname in high school.
Once again, the beer garden. So the beer garden has 5 entry and exit points. Last year we put the beer vendors at the entrance to each one. So as soon as you came into the beer garden, you had an opportunity to get beer, which is important for a beer garden.
It could be the most important.
It could be the most important part, the namesake, if you would. So anticipating right now 3 alcohol vendors. A seating tent, a jumbo screen for the football games. That was really popular last year. Luckily, UT is not playing at home, so there won't be that competition there. Formula One still is the same weekend. We're working with our vendor to see if maybe we can get the sprint series that they do on that Saturday, if we can get that on the screen as well. And then city booths, once again, are going to be in there, so lots of outreach. Main stage, so the Friday night headliner is American Gypsy. They're a local favorite. They have played at a lot of our events, and we keep getting people requesting them to come out to events. And then our Saturday night headliner, we've talked about this before. We're really, really excited. They're a super fun band. If you haven't listened to them, go check out their YouTube. They are incredible. Their name is Easy Band. They are a Tejano cover band, but of like modern day songs. So
Pop hits
yeah.
and stuff, yeah.
What is their most recent video?
Boy.
And they were covering Ozzy a couple weeks ago to Hey There Delilah to all kinds of stuff. Yeah, literally almost anything.
And as we talked about last time, that Tejano influence, it has a lot of the same instruments and it has that influence of German. And so although it's not German, it is kind of the perfect mix of Texas German. So
If you're looking for them, Instagram or TikTok is where they're super huge. I mean, they're almost 750,000 followers on each one of those. So.
and then you'll see the additional bands there as well.
The Lederhosen junkies.
Yeah, another one of our polka groups. Fun run, so Shane kind of alluded to it. We're going to be making some changes to the fun run this year. We really want to be intentional about the fun run and how it's programmed. So previously it's been at Finnig Park. That was kind of the start and end spot. We are going to be moving the fun run into the event this year. So the way that participants will get there, they'll use our charter buses. They'll park at the field just like they normally would. And then they will shuttle through the entry gates at Deutschen Pfest. So the run will start from inside the event. So it will be one cohesive part of it. And you can see it kicks off the Saturday of Deutschen Pfest. So it's one of the very first things.
So how far is that run? I see the kids 1K.
You just run till it's fun.
Yeah, that's till it stops being fun.
It's about a 5K.
Okay.
We're not sanctioned or anything,
Well, yeah.
so it's our best guess at 3.2 miles.
Yeah, it's
so.
a little short of that.
Yeah.
Anything official.
You can turn around whenever you want to, though.
That's right.
So our vision is to kind of have a mini beer garden with beer and root beer. So the thought process is in the future we may turn this into some kind of like activity run, but we'll have hydration stations, rest locations, restroom. We're going to have a polka player along the route. So as you run by, he plays polka music, and then as you run by for the finish, he plays polka music again. So that's going to be really fun. And we're going to have cheer stations. So here in a couple weeks, we will be releasing volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
If you would like to volunteer, cheer stations is a great place to do it. Our inspiration is, if you've seen those Buc-ee's billboards, we're going to do stuff like that. So like, you only have 1 mile left till beer, or, you know, restrooms on your right. So we're going to come up with some funny sayings, but if you want to be a volunteer and help cheer on people as they're running, that's probably the best place to be rather than running. So I'm not a runner. Community vendors. So part of that change, the community vendors have been a part of the fun run. We are now moving them back into the event. We call this kind of the transition area. So it's in between Pfluger Park and Gillen Creek Park. So it's in between the regular vendors and the kids zone. So we're going to try and get them some more exposure. It also allows them to be there on Saturday. If you remember last year, we moved it from Sunday to Saturday. They must provide a family-friendly activity. So there is going to be a requirement for it, and that's open to nonprofit organizations.
Is there a fee for that or cost? What is it?
That,
It was very small last year, right?
yeah.
$20 or something like
Yeah.
that. We haven't gotten to that part yet. We're going to talk to special event subcommittee next week and find out what it's the 2 council members, and find out what they want to charge. But this gets nonprofits back into the event, and it makes us not run 2 parallel events. This community affair with the music, or with our fun run and some sort of musical thing going on, and a couple bounce houses outside of the event, while we're still setting up and prepping and doing something inside the event as well. So the fun run will go in and out, come back into the event, and the community fair folks will be in a spot that we haven't been able to take advantage of historically anyways, and so let's offer it at a much discounted rate, but expose them to the thousands of people that are actually already in the gates, so.
And that will include, once again, the ISD as well. If you remember, roughly where spot 3 or 4 is, that's where the Fortlandia was last year, which was provided by Hendrickson High School. So their students built it. So the ISD will still be a part of this area as well. Shuttles, once again, we'll have 2 shuttle buses. Friday, they'll be running from Pflugerville High School. Obviously, football is king in Texas, so we can't use the field on Friday, but catch us Saturday at the field and get a ride. Drop-off will be at Rolling Meadow and City Park Road. And then tickets. Tickets are on sale. We haven't even really announced that tickets are on sale, and we've already sold 28 tickets. So that's kind of the reach of Easy Band. You each have a flyer in front of you with a QR code. I would encourage you to share that with your friends and go ahead and have them start getting their tickets purchased.
Is entry still free if you're wearing Lederhosen?
It is, yes. Or if you're wearing the shirt, this year's shirt, which we'll be releasing here pretty soon. If you're wearing that, don't forget you get in free for Friday and Saturday by purchasing
if you buy
the
the
shirt.
event shirts.
Yeah.
Can't buy a shirt from 1937 though.
No.
Yeah.
And then sponsorship opportunities. So we're asking for your help on a lot for this meeting. And so I'm coming to you again saying, if you know of someone who you think would be willing to sponsor, if it's your company that you work for, you have a friend who works at Amazon, Walmart, something like that, we would love to get their contact info, have them reach out to us. We haven't even really started pushing this yet, and we do have 2 sponsors who are already interested. And so if you know of someone, this is a great opportunity for them to show themselves off at Deutschen Pfest in one of those premier vendor spots.
And if it's probably a little tough to read, we could send this out to y'all as well, so you have it. So you can hand it out, do some pyramid scheme stuff if you want, if you're interested. Okay, any questions about Deutschen Pfest? Awesome. We're gonna go to our second discuss and consider item.
That's 5B.
Yes, sir.
Discuss and consider the action regarding establishing a standard alternate meeting date for the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Okay, so, life happens every now and then, and we get things that bump into our third Thursday. And I was talking with CMO and City Manager's office, and Planning and Zoning has something where automatically, if something happens on the first Monday of the month, like in a few weeks is Labor Day for them.
Or football.
Yep, they, every Monday. They bump it back to the, yeah, wouldn't that be great? We kinda did that for the summer. They automatically have an alternative date already booked, and it's the 3rd Monday. So if the first Monday isn't available for one reason or 7 others, everyone knows it's the 3rd. And we think, we've come to y'all in the past and been like, hey, it's spring break week, hey, it's NRPA or whatever, but we think this might make more sense. So it's something to discuss, consider, to take action on, not if we're interested. We actually do have the next 2 months have conflict. So September 18th is NRPA, that's our national conference. So Junior, Jeff, and I will be in Orlando, and we anticipate Jonathan being on baby duty. So we could have Jasmine running. Jasmine, you down with that? She's looking the other way. And then the next month is Deutschen Pfest, and that's the Thursday before we start that Friday, and we'll still be meeting as a staff and tying up a lot of loose ends to get ready for that next morning. And so in those 2 scenarios, if y'all approve this, immediately, though, the 4th Thursday in September and the 4th Thursday in October would be the new alternative dates. We do understand that sometimes you're running from trouble and going to another. For example, Thanksgiving comes to mind, right? We'd have to make sure we were pretty aware of what was going on the month of November to make sure that one worked. But it just seems like we have a bunch of stuff that happens to us from time to time in the middle of the month, whether it's, like I said, spring break in the past, I've thought of that one, NRPA from time to time, Deutschen Pfest. There could be others. So this is just what someone else does just to make sure they have one so they don't always have to come back and re-vote on this next random date, and so it's before y'all to discuss and consider.
The fourth Thursday is what the city.
Yeah, it was something we talked to them about. We're trying to avoid other boards and commissions. We're trying to make it where comms can still do the videos and things like that. And so it didn't seem like that was a problem.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I thought the day also was gonna change.
Yeah, the actual.
Yes, I thought it was gonna be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. So it's good to see it's a Thursday, that stays on
Yeah.
Thursday. And for myself, I'm good with that fourth Thursday,
Likewise.
but that's just my opinion.
Okay.
I think one thing to note too, we talked about scheduled things, but if we had two people have a family emergency and we don't have a quorum, now, you know, we've got a lot of things to work on every month, it seems. And so if we don't make quorum one Thursday, we can also just push that back a week instead of having to wait another month to vote on things that might be pressing.
Can we schedule a meeting with one week notice?
Well, if we pushed it, we would just take that same agenda and repost 3 days prior, or
72 hours.
72 hours, yeah. So, business hours, or they can't be the weekend, I guess, all right, something like that.
It's gonna change on September 1st to
Yeah.
business days.
Yeah, it'll change. But we would be okay. We would be able to know that night that even if we didn't have a quorum that night, we could be ready by that following Monday to repost that same agenda.
You brought up Thanksgiving being an issue in November. Are there any other next year that you looked at possibly?
We didn't see any other conflicting Thursdays. It just seems like, you could have a random Christmas could be on the third Thursday.
Oh,
That'll
looking
change.
way ahead.
Yeah. And then Thanksgiving. But as long as we hit that third Thursday, in November, we'll never have to worry about Thanksgiving. So. Or we can bring turkey. Y'all can just, you don't want to hang out with your family all day Thanksgiving, right? By then you've had your fill of them, I think we'll be okay.
I think the Cowboys play.
Oh, but they play early. They're like the news.
Oh, my goodness, we're gonna put us through that.
Yeah.
That's usually about 2:33.
Well, Cowboys finished by 12:30.
So if y'all
So-
are good with it, just a motion and a second.
So everybody, any other comments? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve moving the date of the meeting to the fourth
Sorry,
Thursday?
there's the motion.
Okay.
Approve the recommended.
Of setting the fourth Thursday of the month as a standard alternate meeting date. All in favor, say aye.
Oh, we got a motion. We got to hit a second first.
Oh, yeah, do we have a
We
second?
yeah.
A second.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
We're good. Thank y'all.
Yes.
It's Dave's show now.
Tree Care Advisory Board.
Y'all are kind of lucky because I thought Deutschen Pfest was going to take forever, so I made my first slide.
Hey, look at that.
Dave looks warm.
For professionalism.
Huh? Hey, that is. I think you got interviewed after that at some point for That's My Pflugerville segment.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
That was our first volunteer event. Is this the event that got you like civically minded?
Just so pumped.
Convinced you to come?
She thought you did such a poor job.
Someone needs to right this ship.
Oh, all right, Elise.
So whenever I tell this story, I always point at those two little girls, and I'm like, the joke is always how they're not very good at raking mulch, but they up the adorable factor by like 20%.
That's right.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Oh boy, hold on. Remind me later. Yeah, see if you can do remind me later. And we'll shut down this whole operation. All right, here we go. Now, are you going back the wrong way?
I don't know what happened.
All right, keep trying. Here we go. There we go.
All right. I only got one slide for updates because we're going to spend a lot of time talking about code.
Okay.
So, all right. So, Arbor Day is going to be November 8th at Black Locust Park. It's not a very popular park, but it is an extremely sunny and not shaded park. It gets a lot of traffic, so people are driving by it, and there's a lot of optics involved with it, but not a lot of people actually use it. Part of the reason might be because it doesn't look very inviting. We'll find out, but definitely something we need to. When I asked, hey, what park should we do, that came up a lot with staff, and I agree with them 100%. So, school planting. Jennifer, you got this?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, really?
No, go ahead.
So this is something that was started by the Tree Care Advisory Board committee a couple of years ago before I started, and we've had mixed results from schools. We've had mixed results for tree survivability.
I was about to say, we get all the trees planted.
Yeah, well, actually last year we didn't get all the trees planted because we did it during Thanksgiving break.
Oh, that's right.
So anyway. So these are the little details that we work out a little. We change it a little bit every year.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get to the point where
We're planting and not
we
killing
actually
trees.
have more trees survive than not. A lot of that has to do with the watering. ISD does not like to add irrigation, so trying to keep the trees watered, having staff or student volunteers available to water the trees has been a very, very big challenge. Citizen forester training. Last year, I thought it was pretty successful. We actually have a citizen forester here with us who never wears her shirt at any volunteer events, but I'm not mad about it. Spent a lot of time designing. It's cool.
That's right.
But so we just opened up advertisement. It just opened up. I think the first one went out yesterday, last on socials, and we already have 7 people sign up. So
Are you taking a limit?
what's that?
Limit?
We're limitless.
Oh, take
So-
as many as we take. All right.
This will be the ideal spot. I mean, it's not the ideal spot, but it is just because of all that noise on Saturdays. But we do have some backup places if more people sign up.
Okay.
I think Windermere Clubhouse is a good backup if we need to. Just got to kick out any kids' parties that
That's right.
that already paid for it.
That's right.
Or I mean, we might just do the whole thing in the gazebo at Gilliland Creek. Who knows? Tree City USA. So we have been Tree City USA since 2006, long before I started. I think that was one of the first things when the tree board was originally created. Well, the tree board was created in 07, if I'm reading the code correctly. So maybe not. Who knows? Regardless, we've been doing it every year. We're on track. Since I started, I've been applying for the Growth Award every single year, and we've gotten it. So we should get it again this year. And then something really cool. 2006 was our first Tree City USA. So next year is going to be 20 years. So I think
That's cool.
we should probably go all out for Arbor Day. We'll get the Ferris wheel out and have a kids zone.
Well, you want to plant 20 trees? there?
Wonderland. 20 trees per volunteer. That
Oh,
shows up.
gotcha. All right.
So yeah, I'll get with our communications and kind of talk. We'll develop a something in house, and then we'll present that to communications and say make this Arbor Day much bigger. So and then Force your website. It just went quote unquote live today. I don't think he intended it to go live because it's really. I sent him over an outline last week. He just copied and pasted the outline. A lot of the formatting didn't translate. A lot of it is upload document, so I don't think it's supposed to be publicly facing yet. But we did have a meeting. I didn't tell him it was public facing. But so he's gonna get some of the formatting changed, and I'll get him a bunch of pictures and stuff to make it look pretty. I'm not gonna tell anyone it's live. I guess I just told the entire city. Can we delete that? Anybody who stays informed on this stuff, don't check it out for a couple weeks. But so I'm still saying that's under construction. All right, and now we get to the fun part: Public Tree Protection Code update.
I got a question.
What do you got?
On your Arbor Day, what time is that? I see a conflict with the other thing going on, what did we call it earlier? We called it the paint and stroll. November 8th. Yeah, so that's
So
the
Arbor
same
Day,
date.
Arbor Day's been on the books since
Well, yes,
February.
I'm just asking what time.
so,
What time
yeah.
is yours, what time is yours, yeah, that kind of thing.
So I think they're both gonna be pretty much come and go events.
Do some cross promotion.
We're actually gonna be right down the road from you.
And it's all in the same area.
Yes,
with Black
yes.
Locust.
Uh-huh.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
It could be a much longer stroll.
We can, and the mega stroll. Yeah.
Let me change that to mega.
Yeah, so there's some opportunity with that. We
So-
should talk logistics.
Yeah, and Windermere was actually gonna be the backup if Black Locust wasn't gonna work out.
Well, then we should.
And the website's not live yet.
We should
We could
definitely
change
consider
everything right now.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right.
So, but yeah, and then public tree code, we'll get into a lot more detail coming up. So this is where I thought we were gonna spend a lot of our time, so. All right, so code update. Gave everyone one of these packets. So this is gonna be sent to council whenever this goes to council. It's gonna go to P and Z when it goes to P and Z. Hopefully this is a way that people can sit down and kind of, hopefully it's organized in a way where they can, they don't have to ask me a lot of questions. It just kind of makes sense and flows. But, so a lot of input from y'all on if that works or not. So a little bit of history. The last update for this was 2012. What got us started, I saw some weaknesses in this when I first came to the city, and it was always kind of just a non-priority. Just like, hey, we'll do this when we have time. And then we had the Windermere replanting project that was funded through the USDA IRA grant, got canceled on us. It got withdrawn because it no longer aligned with agency, yada, yada, yada. I got, talk offline if
You're
anybody
being
wants to hear me.
careful,
complain
yeah,
about it.
please.
So that's what kind of prioritized, that's what kind of pushed us to the forefront. We want to be able to continue that project and projects similar to it. But we didn't have a funding source. So instead of doing, trying to get small grants 4 times a year to do one-offs, we're going to expand the use of the tree fund. So right now, we collect tree mitigation funds and anything for violations of our tree preservation developmental code and of the ordinance that we're talking about. Any fine monies that comes from that goes to a tree mitigation fund that the city uses to plant trees. Current language, we can only use it to plant trees on public property and for the establishment of those trees. So, and that's it. So that's what kind of prioritized this. So it's already been reviewed by the planning department. Emily, our ADM, our ACM, Assistant City Manager, yes.
Yeah, ACM.
Yeah, too many TLRs, TLAs. And our legal consultant, so that, our legal consultant's already reviewed it once. I sent him the final package yesterday, judging by the date I put on the top of the packets. So we'll get that back pretty soon, but it's just gonna be making sure I didn't put too many Oxford commas and stuff like that in there. So what's changing? We changed the language and the purpose intent. We added several more definitions. That was something that came a lot out of planning review. They wanted a lot of the stuff just defined at the very top, so we don't have to, I don't know, people can keep flipping back through it, I guess. So we reduced some of the responsibilities of the Tree Care Advisory Committee. Some of those things were responsibilities that I absorbed when I took this position. And some of them were things that just weren't happening. So, not anything against the committee. I thought it was a pretty hefty ask for a citizen committee to put together 5-year plans and, several hour comments to city council. So we added some requirements for contractors that we would use for tree care. Clarifying responsibilities. We get several calls a year. I get several calls a year asking to interpret this code. So I try to make it a little bit easier to understand. Adding a section for prohibited activities, and then of course expanding the use of the tree mitigation fund. I did not bring my pen over here. I was gonna take notes on this while y'all were yelling at me.
Need a pen?
Yep.
I'll lend you one.
I switched with Jeff because Jeff knows way more about this than me, so.
And still way less than Dave.
Yeah, that's right. It's the appropriate amount.
All right. So the purpose and intent. So we completely reworked it. So this was something that changed entirely. The reason we did that is we needed to have a legal defense for changing the use of the tree fund. If y'all turn to page 12. No, but in this packet, if y'all get a chance to read it, there's really only one legal case that's gone through in Texas challenging use of tree funds that I'm aware of. I talked to a consulting arborist that specializes in it, only one that they're aware of. And we were trying to, if that ever got challenged in Pflugerville, we would have language that backed it up, because that was kind of the failure of that case. So this is a combination of that recommended language by the Texas Forest Service and some language also we borrowed from San Antonio's preamble, which is, if y'all don't know this, San Antonio has a globally recognized urban forestry program. They're a tree city of the world. So
Should say a lot of the changes are sort of to what Dave is saying. There's precedent in Texas already for a lot of these changes. We're updating current language, but also bringing our language sort of up to snuff with what other even area cities are doing. So a lot of our surrounding communities already have a lot of the language that he's using here.
any comments? Any comments?
So is it potentially sensitive that you'd be proposing to use city money for trees on private property? Is this the concern?
That's potentially sensitive, and these developers, that they do have a line item when they come in to pay tree mitigation, but if they ever want to challenge that, I'm not a lawyer, but just from talking about this, I'm not sure what the actual term is, but whenever we collect mitigation fees for anything, not just for trees, there has to be a public need that's created by whatever they took out, and we have to use that mitigation to fulfill that public need. So that's where the challenge would come if a developer wanted to do
So
it.
the language you're adding will give the city more flexibility and more ways to use that, but you had to bolster that legally with like the preamble and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right, so this is just, if y'all want to look at all the definitions, go for it. These are just the things that we added. We didn't take anything away from it. Directors in quotations, because,
Can't wait to hear this.
well, because this is something that the planning department wanted me to put in definitions. The first line when you got to one of the sections was the Parks and Recreation director, urban forester, or qualified designee, and then I put here and after known as a director, and they said just put that in the definitions. So now there's director in quotations, but we further define what a Parks and Recreation director is and what a urban forester is. So. So, all right. So these are the current duties and the new recommended duties for the Tree Care Advisory Committee. So I'm the one that handles the Tree City USA designation. If there's ever any reports that need to be to City Council, I'll probably be the one who gets called on that. I'm the one who deals with Parks and Rec. These are things that just I kind of absorbed. 5-year plan. I haven't been able to find one in any of the old Forester folders from before I was here or from the subcommittee folders. It's definitely something that I'd like to start doing. But it's a lengthy process. It's one of those things, if I ever get around to finally getting it done, then they'll have a template. It'll be easier the consecutive years. But then the only thing that was added was just developing, promoting public tree planting and distribution events, which they already kind of do. So I think the school planting's a prime example of that. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about these changes? Are we 3 for 3? Man, this is good. All right. So we just kind of reworked this a little bit, and we're trying to make this, I don't know a good word for it, more clear to the public. Can we see my cursor? We don't have a laser, do we? And we'll get more details in there later on. But there's a section that kind of gives some responsibility to adjacent property owners. And that's the one that we get called on a lot about clarification. So a lot of this green language moving forward in this section is kind of clarifying that up. And then we also are codifying requirements for contractors that we're going to be using. And this is where we clear a lot of that up. So property owners are responsible for the reasonable and routine maintenance of trees on the right of way as an extension of their property, or the property owner's front yard and or setback. So that line has gotten very confusing for a lot of people. So a lot of this green is to try to clarify what all that is. We developed a picture to help, because I like pictures. If we could do this whole code in nothing but pictures, I think more people would actually read it. Maybe a pop-up, I'm not sure. And then we added a line about having all city departments kind of work under the coordination of the director for all kind of tree care needs within their responsibilities. So we have I think our street maintenance, our drainage maintenance, they do a really good job of policing this already. But the ebb and flow of employment, that might not always be the case. So if something happens, we get some foremen retire, and then the people that replace them just aren't as responsive. This kind of gives the director the ability to say, hey, we really need this tree taken down in this street or whatever. So, and then of course the green language in line C, that's where we're kind of expanding on that original language and just saying, this is what makes sense. Adding the clearance over the roadways, that's already in our code, in our fire code, and that's also an ADA requirement. So these are things that already exist in the code and that exist nationally that we just have to put into words, because this is where people are going to come look for that information. Anybody have any comments on this? This might be a way quicker board meeting than I thought it was going to be.
That's a good word.
So on this line, the only thing that we changed, of course, we changed the Parks and Recreation Director or designee to the director. The original language, the current language says may recommend, and this is for people that have trees that might be hazardous to public areas. So if they have a dead tree in their front yard that is hazardous to the roadway, our current language says that, we may recommend that they remove that tree, or at least the parts that are hazardous. The new language is going to say, we are going to tell you to remove that tree or the parts that are hazardous, or, face fines. So, does anybody have a problem with that? Oh, man, y'all are the most agreeable board.
I have some problems with director.
I think it sounded a lot smoother before we moved into definitions, but okay, so these were two things that were found in the care of public trees section that we just moved to the new section of prohibited activities, or prohibition against harm. We didn't change the language on them at all. So this is going to be the new language in prohibition against harm. So basically, don't mess with publicly owned trees unless you have permission. And if you have any private trees that endanger public spaces. So, and it sets each violation is going to be independent. So if you cut, I'm not sure if code enforcement would let me do it, but I can't charge you per branch, but for each tree will be an additional fine. And,
So on B, for example, if there's a sign on a city tree and what is that? I mean, what's the punishment there, or
So up to $500 would be the actual punishment.
on just
Would be the legal
just
one.
I do yard work sign or whatever, that kind of thing? Somebody just puts up a sign, that's what I'm getting at.
If you nail it into the tree.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the chances of us actually finding you are not very high.
Well, I'm just bringing that up because I've seen those before.
Yeah.
David's being recorded, but.
So, I mean, we're coming after you, you tree
Yeah.
bandits.
Where are the fines and stuff defined?
It's gonna be in the last section. We actually didn't change any of that
Sorry,
language.
didn't mean to get
Uh,
ahead.
yeah.
You're not gonna find the
That's
people
on-
who are like knitting the sweaters on the tree branches, are you?
What's that?
You see the people who like knit sweaters on tree branches?
The hugging tree? Yeah.
There was one that was over by Gillen Pool actually for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's the culprit. No, I think that's pretty cool actually, so.
That's not public.
Keep in mind,
That's
that's
not
on
harm.
public trees.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want to your tree as long as it
Well,
doesn't
yeah, I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
public.
make it hazardous to public
Yeah,
areas,
Public.
so. Any? I might be home before bedtime. All right, the public tree fund. So this is where most of the changes are. This is our current language. This is, I want to say, no, this wasn't the only line in it. But this is where all the changes are. So moving forward, I just tried to make it easier to read, and then we added a bunch of uses to it. We added a line at the discretion of the director. That line is not to, it's really just to limit the use of other departments from using this fund. Because we got a pretty big fund right now. We also have a couple of slow years coming up in development, more than likely. So if we just kind of leave the faucet wide open for anybody to use it, that big fund will turn into a little fund pretty quick. So we're still going to be adhering to all spending regulations by the city. We added a line in there to make sure that happened. So new uses. So besides planting and establishing trees on public property, so renaturalization of designated areas on public property. So these will be on parkland, right of ways, things like that. And we put that language in there so that we could use this fund for prairie restoration, pollinator gardens, things like that. Tree and plant healthcare. So these are things going to be like fertilizations, treatments when needed, soil work when we need to prep soils. The reason why it's in there, it's not something that we budget for. So like we do budget for some tree maintenance for like pruning and removals. It's not something that we budget for, but it's not something that you really can budget for a lot of times. I don't know if we're gonna have a oak wilt outbreak that we need to start treating for. So being able to use that fund when we need to. Be good. Public tree giveaways and distribution events for residents of Pflugerville and its ETJ. That was kind of a sticking point. We do collect tree mitigation funds and fines from developments in the ETJ. It's to a much smaller extent than we do in city limits. The reason for that is that our landscape subchapter in our UDC doesn't apply in the ETJ. And so just about any trees that they plant count towards mitigation, which offsets the mitigation fee. So not opposed to that. I wish all developers would just replant the stuff that they remove or just not remove them in the first place. But this fund exists for when they do. We have something to help reestablish it. And so why the ETJ and why it's only that line is because that won't require either very little or no additional city resources. So a tree giveaway event, yeah, you live in the ETJ, you can have a tree, It's not gonna require any additional city resources. Tree planting programs for non-public properties within city limits of Pflugerville. This was another sticking point. This is something that, when you compare to all the other cities in the 5-county area, a lot of them don't have tree ordinances to begin with. They don't have established tree mitigation funds. Of the ones that do have tree mitigation funds, only 3 allow this. So one of them's Austin, Cedar Park, and Bastrop. Austin does it by a grant program. So a resident would manage the project and apply for the grant, and then they would use their tree mitigation funds to give them the money to do it. Cedar Park needs city council approval for everything, for every non-public property. And then Bastrop, their code is brand new, and they're not entirely sure how it's gonna work out. So, and it hasn't, again, it hasn't really been really enforced or challenged yet, so. But those are the only three in the whole 5-county area that I can think of that I was able to find that allow for non-public use of the tree fund. And then initiatives that promote the health and development of Pflugerville's urban forest. This is a very common catch-all found in other uses for tree mitigation funds. Cities have used this for like canopy assessments, risk assessments, things like that. So, then the contribution of the funds, I just kind of made that into a bullet because I thought it was easier to read. But does anybody have any questions about this? All right. And then questions and concerns for discussion.
Look at famous.
I always tell people, not only do we have the biggest pecan tree in Travis County, we also have the world's friendliest cedar on.
So this is a discuss and consider.
Oh,
So,
any comments?
I like the inclusion of the renaturalization with uses of the tree fund. I think that's a good addition.
Yeah, and so that one line made us, it didn't make us, but that's why we, inside the purpose and intent, that's why we added in other natural resources.
Yeah.
I also like the addition of dictate over recommend, a little more power there.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that it would just recommend if the tree is deemed dangerous to the public.
So this doesn't give us any authority over, unfortunately, like if my neighbor has dead trees hanging over my roof, but
Right,
poses no
that's
threat to the
private, that's
public,
private, yeah.
the city can't come in. Yeah. But it does give us the more authority to protect the public.
So when can the city come and do something? Easements, for example, is that something?
It really depends on who owns the easement. So within city easements, yes, because that would be public land. If it's a private tree that would affect the easement, it really depends on what that easement is. I can't argue that a tree is hazardous to an easement if it's like a drainage easement that no one's walking on. Because yeah, it is public land, but there's no targets for, there would be no negative consequences if the tree fell. So. No questions? All right. Was that the last?
Yeah, so if y'all, we'll need action on the item to send it to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay. Okay, so do we have is this 6A or 6B that we're looking at, or looking at both?
6B.
6B, okay. Do we have a motion to approve item 6B? Discuss the Tree Care Advisory Board, tree code updates.
I'll set a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Or any opposed? Okay,
Well, thank y'all very
anything
much.
else?
And then if y'all do see, if y'all can make some suggestions, I'll make this easier to read, feel free.
Pictures.
This is their website.
Okay, adjourn. Item 7. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Adjourned.